Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. First of all, I know I've been saying it a lot lately, but I really want to thank everyone who's been liking the videos, subscribing and sharing the videos, and I highly incentivize you guys to keep on doing it because it really inspires me to keep on making content. Now then, on that note, today we're going to be going over a quick article that was released by PC Gamer for Legends of Runeterra 16 hours ago, at the time of recording this video, that is. It's a very in-depth article, but it gives us a lot of insight of what's going through the brains of the people who are making Legends of Runeterra, and what they plan on doing in the future. So let's start off with this. The way that they want to make the game feel more interesting, in a year's time and a month's time and stuff like that, is that they have several sets which are almost already complete. Those are several sets which are almost already complete. We're not even talking about the ones that are still in early ideation. They're still in development. They're still just ideas on a board. No, they've already got several sets which they plan on releasing throughout time, and they're almost done already. Which means we might be seeing a new set in less than 2 months, 2 or 3 months. That's pretty exciting. Like I'm willing to bet that as soon as Mobile Legends of Runeterra is released, we will immediately see a set or two of them drop immediately. So that's the first thing that they plan on doing, to keep the game fresh. But they're also planning on doing a lot of meta updates, which actually really interests me. So they plan on making the meta change every single month so that the meta stays fresh. And the way they're going to do this is by doing the same thing they do for League of Legends, that is by nerfing cards, buffing other cards, stuff like that. Maybe they might even add cards. I don't know, but that's all speculation. That part is speculation on my end. They might add a card that completely just counters elusive next month. They're like, hey, meet this guy. He's a 5/5 and he kills all elusive units. What you gonna do about him? Like that would just be insane. So yeah, that is how they're committing to doing that. But they also want to make sure that they release balance patches and hotfix every single month, as I said before. But they also plan on releasing other features in Legends of Runeterra, and that is, well, they specified it, I believe, right here. Yeah. So they plan on releasing features. For example, if you've played Hearthstone before, they have got the adventure mode. They've also recently added battlegrounds mode. Now then, Battlegrounds mode, I don't believe they're going to implement something similar to it in Legends of Runeterra, because the fact of the matter is that Riot Games already has Teamfight Tactics, which is a direct competitor to Hearthstone Battlegrounds. But this is really exciting because they talked about that they are looking into adding other game modes into Legends of Runeterra where we can use our own cards, our prison cards. So that might mean that they are going to add a PvE mode, that they are going to add maybe more story modes, maybe a whole entire new mode which we've never seen before. I don't know, maybe they'll turn it into a tabletop game where you like summon Jinx when you actually see her when you play the card. I don't know, something like that, something crazy. So they're planning on doing that, but they said that this is very early in development, and we shouldn't hear anything until it's at least officially launched. But they're really excited about this, and they're looking into new game modes. So that's really good for us as players. Another thing they address is the monetization, and that is that they want the monetization to be the same as it is now, but they're looking into kind of like the pain points that some players have been going through. For example, some players are not enjoying the fact that the game is so slow, that there's a lot of elusive decks at the moment, and that you can't just buy a lot of cards, and with those cards you'll be able to develop your own preferable deck, your own S tier deck. But they basically address that by saying that they don't want people to spend a lot of money in the game because they want the meta to develop slowly. And also because since they're going to be nerfing and buffing cards, they don't want you to spend $50 or €50 on an S tier deck to come back a week later to the game and finding out that it's nerfed. I mean, in a week's time, Zed and Elusives might be completely destroyed, and I don't know, Vlad might be completely overbuffed, stuff like that, you know. So that is kind of the reasoning behind that. They also talked about the store cap. For example, you know that you can only buy a certain amount of cards from the store. There's a reason they did that, because and they're considering undoing that, but they want it to stay the same as it is because they don't want people to pour in money in the game and become the best players in the game. Because you don't want to be a new player coming into Legends of Runeterra and finding people with S tier decks already and they're just destroying you on day one. That's not fun. That's not interactive gameplay. Other things they addressed is that they will be adding a lot of new features in the game, specifically quality of life features. They're also looking at the 30 FPS cap, which was done so that they can harmonize the difference between PC and mobile. But they've realized now that they're like, hey, this ain't good. Let's try to revert it. So they're actually going to try to increase that to uncapped, or at least 60 FPS for PC, and mobile will stay at 30. That's what I looked at. What else? What else did they say? Let me see here. Yeah, also they're looking into a lot of quality of life things. I've already mentioned that briefly, but they said that there are a lot of complaints which people are talking about, specifically with the UI, which they are looking into adjust, maybe remove things like that, because they believe that those will be great fixes, but they will be pushing those out every single month with every single balance patch. They also address the issue with elusives, where people are like, oh my god, the elusives are way too strong, what are we gonna do about it, and stuff like that. Basically what they said is that elusive is strong at the moment, but they believe that it's strong at the moment because a lot of people have starter decks. And they believe that after a week or 2 or 4 weeks, elusive decks will be very, very, very weak because of Shadow Isles, Ionia, and also cards like Avalanche and Judgment in Fairlure and Demacia. They believe that as the meta progresses, people will start putting in a lot more Challenger cards in their decks to counteract the elusive cards. They're going to be adding more Judgments, more single combats, more Avalanches, Frostbites, things like that. So that's kind of their idea of how they're going to be moving lately. They also mentioned one very, very, very huge thing, and that is that they plan on having 10 decks viable every single set or patch, which is actually kind of insane because that's actually unheard of. Usually it's as they mentioned themselves, it's usually around 3 to 5 decks which are viable, but they said that they're aiming to have 10 cards 10 decks which is viable all the time, and that it's actually insane. You can have such a variety of decks with that. You'll have 10 decks and they'll basically counter each other. That's really huge. That's insanely huge. So yeah, that's basically what the entire article covered. It's a very in-depth, lengthy, and in detail article. I'll be linking it down in the description below. I highly suggest you guys give it a read. I really enjoy this. I think this is a good sign for the future, and I highly suggest you guys take a look at it and go through it yourselves if you feel like it. I've covered the main points, but they also mentioned some other things in there, but I think this is the main things that we should be concerned about. But it's really good that we know that they are going to be investing into the game more. They're going to be giving us balance updates, and they already have several sets planned. That's huge. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like the video, share the video, and also please don't forget to subscribe. Have a good day guys. Peace.